Hello everyone. So in this video we will be talking about selection sort. Okay. So whenever we are starting with the new sorting, as I talked about that in the bubble sort as well as in the modified bubble sort, that we will be first talking about the approaches, that how it is actually working, or say why this name is given to it, and then we will be seeing the code or say the pseudo code or whatever, and we will be dry running and we will be understanding this in a deeper manner. So first thing first, what this selection sort actually does. So in case of bubble sort, we have seen that what is the fundamental thing. The fundamental thing was, it was selecting after each external loops iteration, it was selecting the highest element and it was putting it at the very end position. Okay, so the last element after each iteration, after each external loop iteration, the last element was in sorted position. So each time we are kind of checking for one number less, because one position or one element was at the correct position at the end. Here what the selection sort does, it actually brings out the minimal element, absolutely the minimum one from the entire list or say entire array, and it puts it at the correct position at the beginning. Okay, so it will be putting it in the correct position at the very beginning. So what it actually does, what is the fundamental thing, that is, it will be selecting, it will be by default thinking that the array, the first element of that array is the minimum element. Then it will search for the entire element to find out which is the actual minimum. First it will assume that the first element is the minimum one and it will be scanning the entire array to actually find out which is the actual minimum one. Then it will be swapping these two. This will be swapping, okay, and the minimum element will come at the correct position after each external loop iteration. So that is the fundamental thing that we will be doing. Now, whenever I started with this playlist, I have said that when we were in kindergarten, okay, or when we were kind of kids, say 7-year, 8-year-old kid, so in our school, we were supposed to sort some numbers in our exams and all this thing. So what we used to do, suppose the numbers were given as say 5, 8, 2, 9 and we needed to sort it. So what we are doing, we are picking the smallest one and putting it at the first place. So again I am saying for selection sort, we are doing the same kind of thing. That is, we are picking the smallest one and putting at the first position. So is it absolutely the same, just like our brain thinks according to sorting or something like that? Whenever we were a kid, we used to do it like this way. Or we, not as a kid, right now also we do it like this way. Whenever we are supposed to sort some elements, we are picking the smallest one and putting it first. But is it the same like this selection sort? I will be talking about this, or you will be understanding it by yourself whenever I will be dry running this thing. So let us have a quick look at this one. Now let's go step by step. Suppose the program execution starts from main, but I haven't written much of it. So now what we will be doing, inside main, this selection sort is getting called. This function is getting called. And this is the array 6, 4, 7, 8, 1, 9. What is our target? This will be the input array, and what is the output array? The output array is the sorted version of this one. So two things are getting passed inside the selection sort function, the array as well as the size of the array. So how many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 is getting passed. So it is coming here. Okay. So what is the array? Let us have a fresh look at the array. The array is 6, 4, 7, 8, 1 and 9. Right. So it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, there are total 6 elements. Now let us start dry running this thing. So this array is getting passed over here, and what is the size? The size is 6. The size is 6. Right? Now see what is happening. For in step equals to 0, as I have said in bubble sort as well, that the external loop I am writing the variable name as step. You can write anything, but I am writing step so that it's for better convenience, that I can say at step 0, step 1, it looks good or sounds good. So at step 0, that is at the first external loop iteration, step equals to 0, and step less than size minus 1. What is size minus 1? 6 minus 1, that is 5, satisfied, so no issues. So it will go inside. And as I have said, what selection sort is actually doing? It is by default saying that the mean value, that the minimum value from that array is present at the first position. So what it is doing, it is saying that the mean index, this is not the value, it is saying that the index, minimum index, that is the element, the shortest element or the smallest element's index is at the first index. So it is saying that int mean index is equals to step. So what is the mean index value here? It is the value of step. So what is the value of step? Equals to 0. Right? So it is saying simply, it is trying to say, I will be seeing in this piece of code, it is simply trying to say that the element present at 0, that is 6, it is assuming that this is the smallest element from this array for the time being. Now what we will do? We will be checking for the entire rest of the array and we will be trying to find the actual one and we will be swapping it with this one if we find anything smaller than, or say actually the smallest from the array. Now what we will do? Now we will come to the internal for loop. What is doing? For int I equals to step plus 1, I less than size I plus plus. So what it is doing? It is starting from step plus 1. What is the value of step? 0. So this particular step is here, and I is starting from step plus 1. What is there? This one is I. This one is I. So I is starting from step plus 1. Now int I equals to step plus 1, I less than size. So it is going from 0 to size minus 1. And it is going to step plus 1 to size. So each time you can see if the step value is increasing, this I value will go further. Because what I am saying, this time the first elements will be, or say the smallest element will be coming to the first position. So after one iteration, this particular position should be in sorted order. So we can see only the rest of the elements. After that, 2 will be the shortest position. We can see the rest of the elements. So it will be, we can see I starting from step plus 1. So initially the step value is 0. So I will start from 1. Then when the step value is 1, I will start from 2. So it will be going like this, right? Now I is step plus 1, I less than size, I plus plus. So I less than size, what is the size? Size is 6, so it is satisfied again. Now it is checking if array of I is less than array of mean index, right? So if you can check, first of all it will be starting from I equals to step plus 1, so that is 1, I is here. I is less than size. Now it is checking whether array of I, who is array of I? Array of I is 4. Array of I is 4. Is less than array of mean index. Who is the array of mean index? What is the value of mean index? 0. So it is checking whether 4 is less than array of mean index. So array of 0, that is 6. So this condition is actually satisfying. That is 4 is less than 6. In that case, this mean index is getting modified. If this if is satisfying, then mean index is becoming I. So what does it mean? As I am saying that it is assuming the first one to be the mean index, but it is not always true, right? So whenever it will be finding any value smaller than this one, it will be updating the mean index. So what is the mean index value now? Right now the mean index value becomes 1. Because obviously this has seen only these two. Suppose the array was having only these two elements. So this was the mean index. So that's why it is updating the mean index as 1, because 4 is less than 6. Right? I hope it is clear. Now it will go back again and do I plus plus. Right? So I becomes, what was initially the I was initially, before this step, it was step plus 1, that is 1. Now I will become I plus plus, so I will become 2. Right? So now it is checking whether if array of I, that is array of 2, now I is here, So it is checking whether array of I, array of 2 is less than array of mean index. What is the value of mean index now? Mean index is 1. So now it is checking whether 7 is less than array of 1, that is 4. 7 is less than 4. But this condition is not satisfied, so it will not go inside if block. So what does it mean? It has checked the 3 elements. Here there was a update, mean index update, we can say. Here there is no update needed, because the mean index is at correct position. We have checked these 3 elements and 4 is actually the smallest, so the mean index stays at 4, no problem, right? We have no issues with that. So mean index stays at 4 only, that is the first index. Now it goes back and it becomes I equals to 3. So I comes here, right? Now it checks if array of I, what is array of I? 8. If array of I is less than array of mean index. So who is at mean index? Mean index is 1 and it is 4. So again, this condition is not satisfied, so it will not go inside this if. So there is no need to update. No update. Which update actually? Mean index. Okay, mean index. No need to update the mean index because it is not going inside this if, right? Next time the I is becoming I plus plus. So I is becoming 4. So it is here. Now it is here. Now it is checking whether if array of I, what is array of I? 1 is less than array of min index. So what is array of min index? Array of min index is nothing but min index is 1. So it is 4. Right? So it is now checking whether 1 is less than 4. So this condition is satisfied. So in that case, mean index, now if you can check, mean index will become I. And what is the value of I? The value of I is 4. So the mean index will become I. So mean index becomes 4. So it is update the mean index. Initially the value of mean index was 1. Here there was no change. Here there was no change. Here it is changing to 4. The mean index value is becoming 4. Right? So now it will again go back and I becomes 5. So I becomes 5. Right? Now if I can check, I is running till less than size. So now I is 5 and I is less than size, that is 6 satisfied. So it will run for this time as well. So now it will check whether array of I is less than array of mean index. What is array of I? 9. Is it less than, what is the mean index? 4. So array of 4 is, that is nothing but array of 4 is 1. 9 is less than 1. Not satisfied. So there is no need to, no update of mean index. So if you can check, now the I becomes 6 and this is not satisfied, this condition, I less than size, because what is size? 6, and 6 less than 6 is not satisfied. So it will not go further. The internal loop for the first external loop iteration, it will stop there. Right? It will stop there. Now it will come outside. And if you can see these 3 lines, what this is doing? It is using a temporary variable or a third variable and it is swapping 2 values. This particular 3 lines actually swaps. Okay, this is used for swapping. If you really want to check, int temp equals to array of min index. So what is array of min index? What is the last min index value? 4. So array of min index is 1. So temp, it is storing 1. So temp is becoming 1. Then array of min index equals to array of step. So what is the step? What is the step? Step is a 0. So array of min index is becoming equals to array of step. So what is step? That is array of 0, right? So if you can check, array of min index is nothing but 6, this particular thing, and array of step is equals to temp. Array of step is equals to temp. So what it is actually doing, if you can check, this particular line is swapping the array of min index and array of step. Array of min index and array of step is getting swapped, right? So who is that array of step? Array of step was 0. So array of step was 6 and array of min index was 1. So these two will be swapped, because if you can see, now array of step becomes 1. Array of step, that is 0, it becomes 1. So after the first iteration, how this will look like? Say after step 0, that is first iteration, the array will look like 1, 4, 7, 8, 6, 9. This is the array now. This is the array now, right? So what is the new array? The new array will be like 1, 4, 7, 8, 6 and 9. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So after one step, this is the array. What exactly has happened? It assumed 6 to be the minimum number in this array. Then it started to find whether there is any other minimum number and scanned the whole array. It found that actually 1 is the minimum one. It swapped with the first assumed smallest number, that is 6. Now when it is swapping, it will become 1, 4, 7, 8, 6, 9. Now the question that I asked, that is it absolutely the same just like our brain thinks? That if there are, say, these are the elements given, and if we need to swap in our brain, or when we were a kid we were doing this thing, is it the similar? The answer is no. Why? Because in that case we are simply putting 1 here. We are not swapping with anything, right? We are not doing that thing. So we are simply putting 1 here. Okay, so in that case it is a little different from what our brain thinks. We're not like, if there was a 6 initially, our brain was not thinking that let's bring 6 here and 1 here. We're just simply putting, because there is endless space in that copy. But here you cannot do that because it is limited. Inside this array you need to do something, right? So whatever. Now it will go back and it will do step plus plus. So what is the value of step now? Now step equals to 1. Initially it was 0, now step becomes 1. So what is the min index? The min index it is now assuming to be 1. So it is a new array, so it is starting from here. Why we do not need to see this particular left part? Because this is already in sorted position. That's what selection sort does. That it takes one element and it finds out the minimum one and it puts it to the very first. So we do not need to see the left part because it is already in the sorted position. Why should we see that again? So now it is assuming, now we have this particular array to consider, this particular array, this particular part. Now it is assuming that the first element, again the same way, it is assuming that 4 to be the, this is, step is 1 and this to be the min index. That is the 4 is the value present at that min index. Now it is doing what? For int I equals to step plus 1. So what is step? Step is here. Step is here. So I will be here. So it will be checking again. Array of I is less than array of min index. So what is array of I? Array of I is this one, 7. So it will be first checking whether 7 is less than 4. 7 is less than 4. Not satisfied. So min index remains here. Then it is not going inside. So there is no update. So initially this particular thing will be, initially it will be 1 and min index will be at, initially there is no kind of, you need not do anything because it is not going inside this if loop for if block for now. Now what it will do? Now it will go back and do I plus plus. So initially the min index value remains at 1. So I becomes I plus plus, that is 3. Because initially I was starting from step plus 1. Step was 1, step plus 1 was 2, so I was here. Now it was checking here, 7 and 4 it compared, but there is no match, so it was going and it was becoming I plus plus, that is I equals to 3. Here it is now I. Now it is checking whether array of I, what is array of I? Array of I is 8, is less than array of min index. Who is that min index? Min index is 1, so 4. Again not satisfied. Again not satisfied, right? So it is not going inside this one again. So next I becomes 4. So I becomes 4 here. So it is checking 6 and 4. It is checking whether 6 is less than 4 because 6 is an array of I and then array of min index, right? So in that case again it will not satisfy and this will go here. This will go here. I is here. So it will be checking again 9 and 4. 9 and 4. Again this is not satisfied. So it will go inside, go outside and it will become I equals to, it was 5 initially, now it was 6. So whenever the I becomes 6, this condition will not be satisfied. So it will break. So if you can see here in the second step iteration, that is when step equals to 1, at the second iteration, external loop second iteration, this particular thing never gets satisfied one more time. So it is not coming inside this if block at least one time. It is never coming inside this if block. So in that case, if it is never coming inside this if block, what can I say? This min index will never be updated. So initially the min index value was at 1 and it stays. It stays. So this particular min index equals to step. So if you want to swap this in temp equals to array of min index. What is that array of min index? This was 4 and array of min index equals to array of step. Array of step was at 4. So basically what you are doing? You are trying to swap this value with itself. Because there is no change in min index, right? So it remains. So after step 1, what is the thing? After step 1, what is the thing? The array looks like similar. So this is after step 0, it was like that. So after step 0, it was like 1, 4, 7, 8, 6, 9. At step 1, that means after the second step, it remained the same. That is 1, 4, 7, 8, 6, 9. Because you can see for this particular array, the 4 was actually at its correct position at the very beginning. So what will be at after step 2? Now you can yourself do that. So now it will be checking for this particular part, this particular part. So it will be finding that 6 is the smallest and it will be swapping with 7. So how it will be doing? How it will be looking? It will be looking 1, 4, 6, 8, 7, 9. Then after step 3, it will be like, it will be checking for this one and it will be saying 7 is the smallest, it will be swapping with this one. So it will be 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. And after that, again it will remain same because you can see it is already sorted. After that, it will run for one more time, it will be checking these two and it will be saying that okay, it is in correct position, this will never be executed and this will remain. So after step, you can see how many times the step is running, size minus 1. So what is the value of size? 6. So 6 minus 1, 5. So it will be running till 4 or 5. So it will be step 4. After step 4, this will be the array. This will be the array only. So this is already sorted. So that's how this particular selection sort runs. So again, just to give a quick recap, what is the fundamental thing selection sort is doing? It is assuming that if there is an array, the first element is the smallest element. Then it is seeing the entire array and it is actually trying to find what is the shortest element because smallest element, because it was assuming the first element to be smallest, but it is not the case. So whenever it is finding, it is swapping these two. It is simply swapping these two after each external loops iteration. So after each external loop iteration, the first places are getting sorted each time. The smallest elements are coming at the right position at the very first places. Right? So that's how this particular selection sort works. And what is the time complexity of selection sort? How we can analyze that? We will be seeing in the next video. So I hope whatever I have talked in this video is absolutely clear to you all. So see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.